She never thought the worst day of her life would turn into the most powerful chapter of her story. When Meher stepped into the school library that rainy afternoon, her only concern was her chemistry assignment. She wasn't thinking about danger, fear, or courtroom justice. She was just a 17-year-old girl trying to make it through school, dealing with the pressure of grades, society's expectations, and a quiet, introverted nature that often made her the target of whispers and judgment. That's what made her a target. She was quiet. And to him, that meant weak. Mr. Osfer was a respected man in the community, a senior teacher at the school who was known for his discipline and strict morals. Parents trusted him. Students feared him. And that fear gave him power. When Meher stayed behind in the library, she thought nothing of it. She was used to being alone, to being the kind of girl others overlooked. But that day, Osfer walked in. The door shut behind him. And suddenly, she wasn't alone. He started with compliments, the kind that made her uncomfortable. He said she was different, mature, special. She didn't know what to do. Her heart raced, her hands trembled. Then he moved closer. His hand brushed hers. "Don't be afraid," he whispered. But she was. She yanked her hand back and rushed out, her mind spinning and legs shaking. For hours she sat on her bed at home, staring at the wall, asking herself if it was her fault. Was she imagining it? Would anyone believe her? She wanted to forget. She wanted to stay quiet. But then she saw the message. Osfer had texted her through a school communication app. "You won't tell anyone. You're too smart for that." That's when something inside Meher snapped. No, she wouldn't stay quiet. Not this time. The first challenge wasn't Osfer. It was her own family. When Meher told her parents, silence filled the room. Her mother sobbed quietly, her father stood stunned. "People will talk," he finally said. "Think about your future." But Meher, trembling and angry, replied with a strength they had never heard in her voice. "What future is worth protecting if I'm scared to live in it?" She filed the report the next day. The school tried to cover it up. Teachers whispered. Some called her troubled. One even said she was trying to ruin a good man's career. But Meher had already made her choice. The courtroom wasn't kind. Osfer had hired the best lawyer in the city. They painted Meher as emotional, confused, unstable. Every time she sat in the witness stand, it felt like she was being attacked all over again, not by hands this time, but by words. But she answered every question. She never lowered her gaze. Every time they tried to break her, she remembered the other girls who might have stayed silent. She was speaking for them, too. There were days she cried until her pillow was soaked. Days she wanted to give up. Days she wished she had never said anything. But then came the day her lawyer brought forward another girl. Then another. And then another. One by one, they stood with her. One by one, they found their voices. They were scared, but no longer alone. The verdict day arrived like a storm. The courtroom was packed. Osfer sat silently, his face drained of color. The judge's voice was calm but firm. "This court finds the defendant guilty." Meher didn't cry. She didn't cheer. She simply closed her eyes and breathed, for the first time in what felt like months. The case made national headlines. Some called her brave. Others called her reckless. But Meher didn't care what anyone called her anymore. She had faced the system, her community, and her own fears, and she won. She went on to finish school, then law school, then returned to work in the very court where she once stood as a victim, now an advocate. Her past didn't define her. Her courage did. Moral of the story: never mistake silence for weakness. Some storms are quiet before they roar. Meher's story isn't just about one girl's fight, it's a reminder that truth has a voice, and when it speaks, even the powerful fall.